So when you pick it, okay, actually, I can give you some scissors and you can cut it. You want to do that?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
There. Cut this part right here, okay? And I'll hold it. Okay, don't cut my finger,
Here?
okay? Yeah, right there. Go ahead. Use 2 hands. Cut. Can you cut it?
This is hard.
Yeah, go a little bit further. There you go. Here. Take it. Ah, those are nice tomatoes. So the main thing, aside from cleaning the bottom of the plants to keep any leaves off the ground, is you just want to prune for airflow. And that allows the leaves and rest of the plant to stay dry, and it helps prevent attacks from things like funguses and other diseases that they could get hit with. So here, these tomatoes are spaced about 2 feet apart, and you can still see how they're really starting to merge together. So all I'm gonna do is just clean up the bottom and then prune some of the leaves that are kind of interacting with each other. So as long as there's not heavy crowding inside the plant, like I consider this to be okay. I could prune a couple of leaves in there, but there's still plenty of gaps everywhere, so the airflow is really not hindered, and that's pretty good. This isn't terrible, but basically when you see extreme crowding of leaves, it's good to thin some stuff out. And another thing you can keep in mind, depending on the type of plant, especially if it's an indeterminate plant, when you start having too many shoots, this is a growth stem, this is a growth stem, this is a growth stem, this is another one, this is another one. So it's sometimes, like especially with these cages, it's good to focus on leaving only, I would say maybe 4 main growth stems. Here I obviously have let it go and I haven't really been paying attention, but it's really a balancing act. It's looking at the plant is just what you think the structure can support while maintaining airflow. So now I'm gonna look in here. When you're looking, there's this one and there's this one, they're both going in the same direction. I'm just gonna get rid of one. I'm going to the bottom. Don't feel bad. Like indeterminate plants, they just keep growing. They're like a vine, it just keeps going. So I just removed that whole thing. Okay. You see that opens it up a little bit. Now you see here, see how there's this big leaf from the stem that's going in that direction, coming this way and crowding the whole thing. Just gonna get rid of that, open that up a little bit. I'm very happy with that, if you can see. So the bottom is nice and clean. If you look in the middle of the plant, it's very open, not a lot of leaves crowding it, and it's just growing well at the top. So this is like a good example of what you will want a tomato plant to look like. So if you have a plant that's extremely crowded in the middle, meaning you can't see anything through it whatsoever, I would start thinning out some of the leaves in the middle. So like this, for example, a little bit more crowded. This is still not actually that bad because you can still see gaps all the way through, but always prune any leaves that are yellow or dying. A dying leaf doesn't necessarily mean that the plant is sick. It's just tomatoes naturally start dropping leaves towards the bottom. So see that leaf right there? It's just been drying out. Maybe the sun. We'll do a little more. There's a little bit of crowding going on in there. This plant, there's multiple main stems going up, and these two are outside of the whole structure. On the inside, there's 4 others. So I'll actually get rid of both of these. I believe this is a indeterminate plant. So I am getting rid of 1, 2, and some of you might feel too scared to do something like this, but trust me, the plants are fine. If it's indeterminate, it's not a big deal. And this is what I removed from that plant. Now it can grow. These didn't have good support anyway. They were growing outside, so now the other 4 stems that are in there can grow fully supported, and the plant can put its energy into those stems and that fruit. And you can now see how it opened up this part of the plant a little bit. You can see how there's gaps. The airflow here is good. No crowding. Another style of pruning is to prune plants as a single stalk. And that means basically just allowing one single leader, one single shoot to go up and train it, usually up a string, or could be a stake or something like that. The theory behind it is that it allows you to, 1, grow more plants in a smaller space, and 2, it should in theory allow fruit to ripen faster because the plant is only focusing on one cluster of fruit at a time, and also for the fruit, the individual fruits, to be larger than they normally would if you allow the plant to just vegetate. So what you do as part of this is basically any side shoots. So side shoots are, this is a side shoot. So in the corner of each leaf, or the node, what each leaf node is, you will often get an extra shoot. That's an extra growing stem, as you can see here. And if you let that stem grow, that's just another branch, just like those big ones that I just cut. That's just another branch that will just keep growing and also making more leaves and fruits. And then that branch itself will also make more side shoots as well. So this style of pruning, you cut those off. And you can either cut them, or most of the time these will just pop off if you do that. So I'll usually tie whatever trellis system you have. I'll tie a string to the top of that, and I'll run it all the way down to the base of the plant. And I'll tie it around the plant. I always use all natural material. So then what you do is you just keep training it up, and you can see you basically train the plant around the string. Here's another example of some tomatoes that I trained vertically. You can see all of these are going up the string. So yeah, I have trellises around most of my beds, as you can see. That way, you know, doesn't matter what I plant, but I always have an option to train it upwards if I want to. An issue with this technique is you can often get sun scald on some of your fruit. You can do this type of pruning that allows a little bit more extra foliage and a little more shade. Because one thing I've always thought about with this kind of pruning style is how many leaves do you actually have to produce nutrients to photosynthesize for the purpose of producing fruit. You know, you're limiting the number of leaves. But so one thing you could do is this. Instead of removing this whole shoot, what you do is, once it's grown to this level, you remove this part, the very middle part. Okay, this is the growing stem, that's the growth tip. So now this shoot will no longer grow. However, you've left this secondary set of leaves that will also grow and expand and provide a little bit more canopy, a little bit more shade to the rest of the plant and the tomatoes underneath, hopefully. So what I try to do is I try to always do that for shoots that are pointing in the direction of the sunlight near a cluster of tomatoes. So you see how there's a cluster of tomatoes right here? That is perfect. So these leaves will actually grow a little bit bigger and expand. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not providing full shade or anything, but it's just a little bit extra shade and a little bit extra, a little bit extra area that can do photosynthesis for the plants. So I want to show you one branch where I did that. Is here, for example. So as you can see, this was the shoot from down here. I had 3 sets of leaves before I pruned the tip, and this was the pruning spot of that growth tip. And so there's these extra 3 leaves here that are providing a little bit of shade. You know, nothing dramatic, but providing a little bit extra shade and extra photosynthesis for the plant, hopefully. I've done no tests with this. I don't know if it makes a difference. You know, it's just logical to me. It makes sense. Look at only the dark ones, okay? You saw some bugs?
A lot of bugs.
Yeah?
How are we gonna get to walk? I am not touching those bugs. You mean only the red ones?
Yeah, only those ones. Yeah. You don't want to pick the green ones, right?